recording also. Okay, guys. Okay, so yeah, let us discuss about this important thing. So we will be discussing about continuous integration. We will be discussing about BDD, which is very important. Okay, and coming to when we talk about BDD, definitely then we will discuss about Cucumber. Okay, so let us discuss, think about a company which actually is following BDD. Okay, so Agile have a different versions. Agile Scrum is a version that you normally know, but nowadays people are following BDD and Agile together. Okay, so Agile, somebody talk about Agile. Agile is nothing but Agile plus BDD. Okay, so typically every company is following that, so you don't have to worry much about it. Somebody is talking about Agile, then the people are talking about Agile BDD. Okay, the typical framework which I'll be showing right now. Okay, so let us think about a company which is actually, the company is running fine, but actually they are doing some new sprint. So how the sprint starts? The day one, how the sprint starts is, you will get a lot of requirements. So your product owner will get a requirement saying that, okay, today we have to discuss, we have to develop something great, okay, something new. Okay, so that's fine. Then the requirement will come into the business. Then what happens? Then before you knowing it actually, then the stories will be created by the product owner based on the requirements, right? Yes. So what is that stories? That's the user stories. A typical user stories will have what? Acceptance criteria. Okay. Typically, I think you don't need to worry much about it. A typical story will have acceptance criteria and will have estimates based on that. Okay. Acceptance criteria, whenever they are writing acceptance criteria, there itself they are writing the acceptance criteria in BDD format. Okay. So the assumption is that acceptance criteria is written in given then one format. Given when then format, acceptance criteria itself. Okay. So once they get the requirement, then the PO is creating a story based on the higher level requirements and is splitting down. One big requirement is nothing but one big requirement is called epic. Okay. Every big requirement is called epic. Okay. Then that epic will be drilled down into small user stories. Okay, this all will come in Jira. In Jira, you have something called epic. So epic and user story. Epic is a mother, user story is a child. So in user story, we will have acceptance criteria, right? So this is your day-to-day work. Now what happens once the PO creates acceptance criteria, PO or BA, it can be anything. But initially, PO will create an acceptance criteria. But that acceptance criteria that he is writing is a draft acceptance criteria. It's a draft. Okay, means he is not 100% sure. Because PO is not the person who actually knows 100% requirement. Who knows it? Business analyst will know that. Okay, here business analyst is very important. So he creates draft stories. Then what happens? It will go to BA. And then he verifies whether that particular acceptance criteria is good or not. So he will try to make a complete acceptance criteria. So he will work on that acceptance criteria. Is this what is required? So he will work, he will do a lot of more analysis and then he will come up with a final acceptance criteria. However, if he is not clear about his acceptance criteria, what he will do? He will push that story to the PO saying that, please, can you please add more stuff into that? So this loop will be going on till the business analyst is happy with the acceptance criteria. Okay. Now acceptance criteria is different from test case. What is a test case? What is a test case? Test case is a kind of a scenarios how a requirement can be tested. Okay, so test case example, if this is a acceptance criteria, test case is like this. Okay, means typical, let us take an example. Example, there is a new roundabout that they are planning in your area. a road they're trying to lay out and they're doing it. Then what is acceptance criteria there? Creating a small roundabout on the road. They say that let us have a road and that road will be round shape and that people can round about and they can exit. That is acceptance criteria. But is that test case? No. What is a test case is something where we have to think about from where traffic is coming. Is this double road or single road? And is it first left, second left? How many exits are there? Exit. I mean, how the people are coming, how the people are going out, and how many do you need to have a lights or we don't need to have a lights? So like this, these details are being something which a tester will think about. Okay, means okay. So if the people are coming in double road, then typically we should have a double road in the road. Otherwise, it will be not clear. So the acceptance criteria also he is thinking from a testing point of view. Now this is thinking about all these exits and entries is what a tester will do. What actually is the test case execution? Test case execution is nothing but you take a small car and going in the roundabout and checking whether are you comfortable in going this roundabout and coming out properly. Is there any safety hazards? So you driving a car is called execution.